welcome back to Hot Rod Guy Garage. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different because we got a Mopar on the channel. What's the story with the Mopar? Well, this car right here was donated by a viewer. It's solid. It's an overlooked, underappreciated car from the 1960s, and it honestly deserves better. I'm just going to preface this with I am the temporary caretaker of this car, and I want to show you in this video what this thing could possibly become. If you don't know what it is a 1966 Dodge Monaco. It is a 4-door. It does have the big block in it. It is an automatic transmission, and it does run and drive after I've done a little work in the background. So let's transport back into the past few days. I'm going to go over some of the pros and the cons of this car with you guys, and then I'll be back and we'll talk about exactly what we're going to have to do to go forward with this car. We'll get into the vision that I personally have for this car. We're going to ask some questions to you guys, and we'll go from there. So let's get over the basics here. It is definitely a project car. I don't think it's necessarily a bad car, but it does have some crusty things here and there. It's not a rotten car by no means, but it's had some stuff set in some places and some things like that. It is a 4-door flavor, but it is a 383 with a 4-barrel intake on it. It was an original 383 2-barrel. The engine runs and the car does drive, not necessarily very well. It does need some suspension work and some brake work and probably some steering work and some things like that, but it does run and drive. The heater core is blown out in it. It does have some crusty rusties down here in the bottom of the panels, which is not a big deal. We could fix that pretty easily. It's got a set of old American Racing Daisy mags in the 14-inch flavor. It's got fairly decent tires on it, but they are very, very badly dry rotted. So we'll just go around the outside of the car first. Got some crusties here. Crusties. The trim that goes here is in the trunk. The back bumper is in pretty poor shape. I think 90% of it's spray paint. Got some crusty stuff on there. The trunk lid seems good and solid. Got a little crusties down the bottom of the quarters, and you know, more of the same over here. Inside, it has some very nice seats, and the carpet's pretty decent in it, and got a very nice dash pad and gauges and stuff. The factory fuel gauge don't work, and somebody's had an oil pressure gauge. The HVAC panel does not work. The push buttons there in the middle of the dash. The door panels are in the trunk, but they are in pretty poor condition, and obviously it needs a headliner. The back seat in it is pretty nice. Get the key out over here. The trunk lid, like I said, is pretty solid. It has a little bit of crust on the bottom lip here. That can be somewhat easily fixed. Don't know what that piece of trim's off of, but it's not off this car. Got 2 of the factory hubcaps, the factory 2-barrel air cleaner base, and the factory 2-barrel intake and carburetor, along with some other speedometer pieces and some random junk, a coil, a lug wrench. The armrests are here, the window crank handles and stuff, but like I said, the door panels aren't in the greatest of shape. But the trunk floor seems to be good and solid in this car. It does have the original bumper jack and does have the trunk mat, which cleaned up is in pretty decent shape. The question is, guys, is it worth putting time and money into? That's the big question. And the bottoms of the doors and stuff on it are good and solid. They just got a little crusty stuff around the seams. It does have a small hole here in the C-pillar that was under the seam sealer here. It's pretty easily fixed. All the doors open and shut on this car very well. Like I said, it's got some crusties down here, but no necessarily large holes. So let's lift it up and go underneath the bottom of it. And underneath it, it has factory undercoating. All the inside of the panels are good and solid. Like I said, it does need the rubber bushings and needs shocks and things like that. I bled the brakes on it. That's what this wetness is. But the car, the rear end needs a pinion seal. It's got the 8 3/4 in it, one legger. It's got a fairly newer exhaust. It's not new, but newer. Don't have no rust or crust in the floor pans of it. I've come in here and replaced some of the rubber sections. Actually, I replaced all the rubber sections of fuel line on this car. Transmission has a pan leak and probably the selector shaft seal leaking on the 727 that's in it. The engine is got some crusties, but it looks like it's pretty dry. I changed oil in it this morning. I come in here and greased the front end yesterday. Like I said, I don't think it's necessarily a horrible car, but it does have the crusties. It would make a great restoration project. But once again, like I said, I don't know if it's necessarily a car that's worthy of a restoration. Let's walk back under it again. It's had a driver's side front floor pan put in it. Looks like they done an okay job. It's not a pro job, but I don't see anything bad other than that, guys. I think it's a pretty good solid old car. And we get down here to the rocker panels, and they're good and solid on both sides. Like I said, 90% of this you're seeing under here is just factory undercoating. It's globbed on everywhere. The rocker panels on it are rock solid. So 99% of what we're dealing with is stuff where trash has got behind braces and fenders and stuff, and door drains have gotten stopped up, and stuff has sat in random places on the car. And not that it's necessarily got a reflection, but the old car is pretty darn straight and not all beat up. I mean, it's not full of dents or dings or anything that I necessarily see. It is coated in a luxurious coat of blue and gray primer spray paint. It has a beautiful grille in it. I mean, not even the hood's beat up on it. I broke the hood emblem off this morning on accident. I lifted it up too high on the rack. Obviously somebody cared about this car at one time or was driving it up till pretty recently, because the AC's been converted to 134A. The compressor's not locked up. If the HVAC panel wasn't messed up, I'm pretty sure that the AC would probably work on it. But it does sport most of its original things. Obviously somebody's painted the intake and valve covers on it. But it's a pretty decent old car, I think. It was obviously an almond looking color originally. I'm not a big Mopar guy, but if any of you guys can decode that fender tag, the top line is a 7, a 3, and a 6, and we got looks like a 61, a 7, a 21, and then obviously DH41 and a 4. Looks like an NIT, an XXI, and a X over here, and obviously the serial number or the order number on it. Got the Certicard plate there. Like I said, guys, this is probably some of the worst right here of the crusties it's got. It's got a little spot right here in the corner of the cowl. Looks like stuff had sat down in there and rusted from the outside in. I don't know if the miles are right, but it's showing 76,489 miles or something like that, or 69. Like I said, the HVAC buttons, none of this stuff works. I had passively looked and seen if I couldn't find one of these, but no such luck on a AC one. So the blower motor, none of that stuff works, and I'm pretty sure it's because the push buttons don't work. The car has its build sheet, the owner's manual, and all that stuff inside of it here. It does have a record of stuff being done to it. I know the broadcast sheet's a big deal on Mopars, so maybe one of you guys can decipher some of that. And probably the best part about it is it generally starts right up. Got about 50-pound oil pressure to idle. But the old car runs good. It seems like the transmission shifts good. The belts are old on it, and they make some noise every once in a while, but the old car seems to be pretty solid. It just needs a lot of love. And that's what brings me to the point of this video. Alright guys, I am back from the past. So, you've seen all the good, you've seen the bad, you've seen the ugly. Like I said, I have got it where it runs fairly decent at this point. Obviously, it still needs tune-up things. You know, it still probably needs a few seals and gaskets and belts and hoses, and it definitely needs a heater core because it's blown out. Quick looks, none of that stuff's available as far as the heater core goes for an AC car. I've got it where it runs and moves, and it stops somewhat okay. It's going to need some addressing underneath. It's going to probably need the brakes checked out. It's probably going to need some wheel cylinders, maybe some hoses. The suspension, the passenger side upper control arm bushing is out of it. The ball joints, the tie rod ends, the steering box, all that stuff seems good. But as this car starts to get used a little bit, that stuff could go downhill fast. So that brings the question is, do we replace it now? We replace it later? We just go in there and fix the stuff that needs to be fixed and make the car run, drive, and stop safely, and proceed forward from there, which seems like the wise thing to do. I believe the AC could be fixed fairly decently, and the interior stuff, with a little bit of work and some creativity, it can be made fairly nice also. So let's jump back into the past one more time. Let's do a walk around. I want to talk about some things that I would personally like to do with it, and then I'll be back, guys. Alright guys, I'm back once again. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about this project. I've got some super cool ideas I think might make this thing a pretty cool old car and add a little bit of value to it for what we're going to do with it in the future. Like I said, I am a temporary caretaker of this car. I've come up with several different things that I think could be pretty cool. We're going to talk about one of them in our next clip, which means, guess what? We're jumping back into the past again. And this one's going to be hard to visualize, guys, but I thought about taking and cutting this roof right here. I'm moving the window up here, welding this door shut, and that'll give us a chance to fix this rust down here. Moving that window up, shortening the roof, making it kind of like a business coupe kind of roof line right here, and then turning this into a truck bed back here, keeping the quarter panels, but bringing it off the door frame area down through here and bringing it around through here to this body line all the way around, and making kind of a Monaco, so to say. And the other thought I had was to source some steel wheels for it in body color that are a little wider, lower it some more, clean up the rust. We throw a inexpensive paint job on it with maybe a laced roof or something, you know, single color laced roof in a contrasting color. De-trim the side of it, lower it, you know, 60s custom flavor, maybe lower the rear and raise the front a little bit so it's kind of a tail dragger. I thought about doing that. And then I thought about, guys, just coming in here and fixing rust on it. And we do another little budget paint series, and we put a paint job on it, leave it completely 100% stock. And I'll say this, it's getting hard jumping back from the past back to today. But what I want to know, guys, is what you think about those ideas that I had. I think turning into a Monaco kind of thing would be kind of cool. And we could keep it stockish doing it that way, do kind of like a what if kind of deal. Or we could do it as a 60s style custom. But whatever it is, it needs to make this thing a cool car. And we're going to have to do it on a budget, which means we're going to have to do it in steps. And I think this would make a very cool video series that tries to turn something that's not really necessarily cool, other than maybe some small things about it, into something that is, let's just say, a work of art or something that somebody else might be proud to enjoy. So that's it, guys. I need you to give me your input down there in the comments below. What you think about my ideas. And I know the Pontiac that I shared in the little picture is not a 66 Dodge Monaco, but it is a good representation of a mild 60s custom that is very clean and everything is kind of cohesive with it. That said, guys, I want this car to be something special to both me and you guys. And what that means, it's going to be a community build, guys. I want to take some of your guys' input and put it into this car. I want it to be an evolution. I want it to make it special, and I want to build it tastefully and cleanly in that 1960s kind of flavor of a custom car. Not getting too wild, but keeping it where somebody would be proud to own it in the future. There's several ways if you want to help out with this project, guys. And I am going to put 100% of our membership fees that come in every month. If you want to become a member, it'll be down here below. There's other ways. There's super thanks on these videos down here below also. You can donate to the project that way. And I'm going to put all the video revenue off these Monaco videos back into the car itself. Hopefully we can end up with something cool, and we can pass it on to the next caretaker in the future. So guys, hit that like button, share these with your friends. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. It does help the channel to grow. Helps me bring you more stuff like this. And it helps me bring some of these forlorn projects that some of you guys have onto their next home, making them a little better in the process. So until our next video, thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one.